This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Chelsea. Chelsea is a champion surfer, so she's accustomed to moving super fast, which is why she relies on super fast broadband brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her family sharing and surfing and saving each month. Combined, she bundles her Flow mobile, home phone, and TV services, so she can enjoy much more for much less, and so can you. Visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon news update for Thursday, April 7th. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. A new report from the World Health Organization says the number of Caribbean nationals living with diabetes has tripled since 1980, and 1 in 12 people now live with the disease in the Americas. The report was released ahead of the observance of World Health Day today. The Pan American Health Organization's representative for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Dr. Godfrey Shreb, says he's concerned that Barbados ranks among the countries most affected.
Diabetes rates are on the rise everywhere, with 422 million adults globally affected. In Barbados, we have 14 in every 100 citizens have diabetes. This is the third highest rate in the Americas, and follows only St. Kitts and St. Lucia, neighboring Caribbean islands. We also know that for every known diabetic, there is one that is living with the condition without knowing it. So although 14 out of 100 might not look like a big number, we know that the impact of diabetes is felt by individuals, families, communities, and the national economy. So it is far more than 14 out of 100 that know they have diabetes who are really affected. We are all affected by diabetes. Yet much of its burden is avoidable. There are globally 4 times more people with diabetes today than there were in 1980. And in Barbados, over the same period of time, the rates have more than doubled. Diabetes caused 1.5 million deaths globally. And in Barbados, 1 in every 10 persons died from diabetes.
5 people, including 4 policemen, were injured last night following a high-speed chase in St. John. The incident occurred around 9:30 at Kendall when police were pursuing the driver of a vehicle. Both vehicles ran off the road and were damaged. The suspect suffered a broken right leg, while the 4 officers complained of various pains and lacerations about the body. The suspect was taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance, where he remains under police watch. 2 officers were also taken to the hospital by ambulance, while the other 2 were taken there by their colleagues. Investigations are continuing. The Chief Executive Officer of Cahill Energy, Claire Cowan, is refusing to confirm reports that the $700 million plasma gasification plant scheduled to be built in Barbados has been cancelled. However, in a brief interview with Barbados Today from Toronto, Cowan denied that the technology Cahill Energy was planning to use in the construction of a waste-to-energy plant was the same as that being used by Air Products, a company which has reportedly abandoned a $1 billion waste-to-energy project in England. But when asked if the multi-million-dollar project is still moving forward, Cowan says they're not using the same technology. Her comments to Barbados Today came directly on the heels of a report that Air Products was quitting the waste-to-energy sector and had pulled the plug on its 2 major gasification facilities. Details are beginning to emerge of Barbados' link to the Panama Papers leak, described as history's biggest data leak. We reported yesterday that 34 companies from Barbados had been listed in the Panama Papers, although no names or addresses were available at the time. However, the UK Guardian newspaper, which is listed by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists as one of 3 of its reporting partners, has reported that the British music tycoon Simon Cowell was among those named. The paper made it clear that there was nothing to suggest that Cowell or any of those named were sheltering or sought to shelter money or assets offshore to avoid tax or for any unlawful purpose. Meanwhile, Barbados has been cited as one of the biggest destinations for wealthy Canadians and Canadian corporations to stash assets, with $71 billion of Canadian cash said to be coming to this country. The claim has been made by Dennis Howlett, the executive director of a non-profit organization called Canadians for Tax Fairness. The group estimates that individuals and companies have as much as $199 billion stashed overseas in places like Panama, the Cayman Islands, and Luxembourg, where there are low tax rates but high-level secrecy. However, the Minister of International Business, Donville Innes, is dismissing suggestions that Barbados is a destination of underhand financial dealings. Innes said this country is a low-tax market and has a tax treaty with Canada.
So instead of paying $350,000 in taxes in Canada, I pay $25,000 in taxes in Barbados. So it's same as that $325,000. That allows that Canadian business now to take that extra profit and invest and grow themselves globally. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, the Canadian government would encourage that.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The 50th anniversary of Independent Secretariat and the National Cultural Foundation proudly present the theatrical production From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond.
We are not slaves.
Saturday, April 16th at 6:30 p.m. at the historic Golden Grove Plantation. Come, be a witness to history.
Aye, Nanny Greg.
Enter the ritual. Feel the power.
This country will be independent. And if I have to wake up all the sleeping angels in heaven, so be it.
From Bossa to Barrow and Beyond. April 16th. Tickets $50 adults, $10 youth and children. Available at all NCF outlets and at ticketpal.com.
In news from the region, health officials in St. Lucia have confirmed 2 cases of Zika virus. Results from the Trinidad-based Caribbean Public Health Agency said yesterday that 1 man and 1 woman, both from the capital Castries, tested positive for the mosquito-borne virus. Last month, CARFA said at least 15 Caribbean countries reported cases of Zika. CARFA's executive director, Dr. James Hospitales, says Zika appears to be causing an increase in 2 rare health conditions. On the international scene, Russia's President Vladimir Putin is denying there's any element of corruption over the so-called Panama Papers leaks. He says his opponents are trying to destabilize the country. Putin was speaking for the first time since the leak of millions of confidential documents from the Panama-based law firm Mossack Fonseca. The papers reveal a number of offshore companies owned by close associates of Putin, and they suggested the companies may have been used for money laundering. And finally, the French Parliament has voted to make it illegal to pay for sex. People caught buying the services of a sex worker could now be fined over $4,000. We get the details in this BBC report.
These are some of the estimated 30,000 sex workers in France. They even have their own trade union. And the union is angry at what it calls a bad law.
Tomorrow we'll be in total insecurity. We won't be able to declare anymore what we earn. We won't be able to pay our social taxes nor our bills.
The law ends the ban on sex workers soliciting for trade and goes after the person buying the sex.
Prostitutes will no longer be seen as criminals. When they're abused, they can file a complaint in a police station, which they couldn't do before. The power relationship with their clients will be completely different.
The law imposes a fine of €1,500 for the first offence, doubling for the second. Supporters of the ban say it will cut demand for prostitution and reduce human trafficking. But police say it's going to be hard to enforce, and sex workers say it may push the trade further into the shadows.
And that's the news. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune into Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news and sports. I am Marika Williams. Good afternoon.